Finally, I want to remind everybody, what can we expect from earlier diagnosis? And what have we learned from early rapid identification? We continue to move the needle forward in the laboratory. It's a great time to be involved in diagnostics. The laboratory folks in the room will recognize this paper at first glance. This is one of the most sentinel papers in the field of microbiology, and I'm not underestimating that assumption. This was the group at the University of Michigan, led by Dwayne Newton's lab, and a group of very talented PharmDs that looked at the implications of what happened when hospitals brought in MALDI-TOF technology, time-of-flight mass spec, for identification in 2013. You can see on the left-hand column here, we see a nice table with variables affecting all the things we want to look at, particularly 30-day, all-cause mortality. As was alluded to by Neil, this is a very, very important parameter. The ability for us to be able to look at pre and post interventions with the use of novel diagnostics that improve outcomes with 30-day, all-day mortality cause is a very, very important parameter. It basically proves that we're providing successful outcome for our hospitals and our patients that walk through the door with septic events. We look at length of hospital stay, we look at the time to effective therapy, all of these traditional, now contemporary modalities that we're asked to look at from the laboratory. But you can see here on the figure on the right that what they have is their traditional time scale and the ability for the group in University of Michigan to show that they were able to intervene by moving the needle closer and closer to where the patient first presented to the system. In the red arrow is approximately the 20 hours that we still lack, because no matter how good our MALDI-TOF technology is, the results of it are still dependent on the function of the growth properties of the organism as a turnaround time of the properties from the laboratory. And we have roughly a 20-hour window there where we feel that new technologies like T2 can come in to really make an increased event in terms of recognition and results from the laboratory. So we've learned from studies like this about what we can expect to learn from an earlier diagnosis. This study was not particularly focused on sepsis, although a large percentage of these patients were septic patients, but you can clearly see that we have hope for optimism here, where new technologies will come in to continue to move that needle closer and closer to where the patient presents to get the information that allows us to be able to give the right information at the right time to the right people that can make those decisions. And that really is the hall of stewardship. It's the hallmark of appropriate patient care.